Doc Mitchell is one of the most recognizable characters in Fallout New Vegas, and I say this with good reason, since it's pretty much impossible to ever play through Fallout New Vegas without encountering him. He's the first person you see when you wake up after getting the bullet removed from your head, and being everyone's favorite good small-town doctor, I figured I'd go ahead and use this run to pay homage to everyone's favorite doctor. So that's why today we're gonna ask if you can beat Fallout New Vegas as Doc Mitchell. Starting out, I of course had to make a character that looked vaguely close to Doc Mitchell. I didn't spend a whole lot of time on this, but I got most of the basics right. Just pretty much had to make a bald man with a white mustache, and I think I did a pretty good job. I don't really have the ability to face sculpt in this game, so can't really, match him entirely. Be a little bit easier to do that in Fallout 4. As for the specials, I went ahead and just popped on the wiki to copy Doc Mitchell's specials, and I had some points left over, so I just kind of put them into perks that I thought he would be possessing of, intelligence, because that makes sense. I took his tag skills, which were barter, medicine, and science, and for traits, I just took good-natured and fake physician, since those kind of made sense for a doctor. I thought about just killing him right away, because I had some items that I started with, but I kind of didn't want to do things that way. It took me a little bit to understand how I wanted to do this run, but I figured I would only be using weapons that I found in Doc Mitchell's house, because that kind of makes sense since it would technically be things that he owned. So I went ahead and got some things set up, did a little bit of prep work and Googled a few things so that I'd be ready for the run, and found that I would be mostly restricted to a knife, a 9mm SMG, and a Watt's laser pistol for the majority of this run. Not the majority of the run, it would pretty much be the entire run. I went ahead and went to deal with Sunny Smiles, and because I didn't exactly have the items that I needed, I didn't kill Joe Cobb right away. I went to go barter with Chet so that I could pick up some ammo as well as some other supplies. I went ahead and sold a bunch of the stuff that I had gotten from the starting pre-order bonus packs and everything because I couldn't use them for the run, and I went back to Doc Mitchell to go ahead and pass a couple speech checks, get some skills, all of that. I did end up just using the tiny bit of 9mm ammo that I had to deal with the powder gangers. I didn't have enough skill to pass all the speech checks, but I got enough of it and got some good early experience and some caps from Ringo. After that, I went ahead and did some more bartering because I needed to pick up a lot more supplies if I was gonna, make this run work. I went back to Doc Mitchell's house and just decided to go ahead and kill him because there's not a whole lot I can really do without having his outfit, but now that I've got his clothes, I can pretty much start the run. Now, I kind of had a few different ideas for how I wanted to do this, who I wanted to side with. I was kind of thinking things and reading through the wiki, and I noticed that it didn't really mention Doc Mitchell had any faction affiliation, and that he just moved to Good Springs and his wife died soon after, so I kind of wanted to go routes that would let me help the people. I did some quest lines and stuff that would, be good for people. I tried to find, doctor side quests and stuff, and I tried to use every medical skill check that I could, hence why I went a weird route to Vegas that I don't normally go through, so that I could go to Sloan. I decided against this because I didn't feel like dealing with the Death Claws, and I just turned around and went to Hidden Valley after I fixed Snuffle's leg, killed some rad scorpions, wasted the majority of my ammo killing the centaurs, but it was worth it because they were all worth a really fantastic chunk of XP. And then I, of course, went up to Black Mountain and got into a fight with Tabitha. This wasted the majority of the rest of my ammunition, but luckily I got out of it without getting beat to death too hard by the super sledge. This run is kind of annoying because I have an outfit that has a damage resistance of 2. So I pretty much can't resist anything over a 22 shell. So I'm basically just taking full damage from everything. This run was basically me just spamming stim packs and trying to stay alive for the most part. I went to 188 Trading Post, sold some stuff to pick up a few extra little supplies, although she didn't actually have any ammo that would benefit me, which was kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Once I get to Freeside, my ammo problem will be solved for a little bit because I'll have access to the gun runners, and then I'll also have access to the Silver Rush to get all of my energy ammo that I could ever really desire. I got into a few fights with some random fiends that had some really high tier gear for some reason, and I ended up just nearly dying immediately. but we're gonna move past that. I did make it to the gun runners and go ahead and buy a few things. One of them being a suppressor for the 9mm SMG, which I'm pretty sure is only applicable through a mod, but I didn't really use sneak attacks for this playthrough anyways, so it was just kind of me buying it to buy it. I went ahead to Gloria Van Graff at the Silver Rush, bought some energy ammo, decided I was going to beat Old Ben to death, which almost got me killed. I had to use more stim packs than I want to admit here. It was a little ridiculous. I went ahead and did some waiting so that I could stock up on a good chunk of ammo for the next, half of the game. Went to deal with the Omertas, and I kind of got in over my head because, again, I have a damage resistance of 2, so I died multiple times in here. I ended up hiding behind the desk like a little bitch and spamming stim packs so that I could stay alive for the most part, and just peeking out to, do things with the 9mm SMG. The laser pistol was good, but when I have enemies that don't really have a whole lot of damage resistance, the 9mm SMG is just better, plus, DPS and all that. I mean, by the end of the playthrough, I think I had my guns and energy guns skill at 75, and both of them were only doing 13 damage, which is not very good for weapons. They're not great. I just kind of got to deal with what I got. I went ahead and decided that I was going to deal with Yes Man this playthrough, and the main reason behind this is because I feel like it makes the most sense for what Doc Mitchell would do. He could, side with Yes Man, take the strip over, and help people, versus if he has to work for House, he's not really going to get that option. House is going to order him around. If he works with the NCR, I don't think he's going to appreciate people being taxed and, paid heavily for their medical expenses and stuff. And then, obviously, he's not going to work with the Legion or anything. I went ahead and went to the Boomers, and while I didn't do their full quest line, I did stop here and do as many little skill checks and, doctor, because I am trying to use my medical skill. I did get pretty much everything done and get idolized by the Boomers. I just didn't go deal that quest where I had to, pick the fucking plane out of the water, because that's just annoying and I didn't feel like walking that far. But after that, I just kind of went to go restock on some more items because I figured I would need it. At this point, I wasn't entirely sure how I wanted to deal with the rest of it. I didn't want to just go on a murder rampage with all the factions like I normally do, which is why this is the only run where I didn't go slaughter the kings immediately. So being that I am technically a doctor and all that, I figured, going on a murder rampage wouldn't be the best bet. I stopped by the Great Khans, and while I didn't murder all of them, I did stop there to pick up some chems, and this is for good reason, because I went back to Freeside and went ahead and started doing some side quests to help the follower. Of course, those chems were coming in handy because I could get idolized by them immediately, and then I needed to kind of make a trade deal to help her so that she could get some constant supplies of medical items, which I went ahead and did with the Garretts and the Silver Rush, since for some reason Mick and Ralph weren't talking to me. I don't know why, they just refused to speak to me at all. Not sure why they didn't talk to my character, but after that I went ahead and went to go deal with Mr. House at the Lucky 38 and get him out of the way, which didn't go so well the first couple times. The Securitrons kind of bullied me a little bit, but eventually I made it inside and went ahead and killed him. To show how weak this laser pistol is, it took 2 shots to kill a defenseless man in a cryopod, which this weapon just sucks, man. Anyways, I went ahead and got Yes Man put into the Lucky 38, watched the Securitrons get upgraded, which meant that I just went AFK, and then it was off to deal with the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood are terrifying. I did not want to deal with this whatsoever, obviously. I went ahead and did the diplomatic route here and just kind of talked to the Ranger to get him to leave so that I could, not have to slaughter the entire Brotherhood. And I'm totally not just saying this because I thought that I couldn't actually kill them all. I mean, clearly a 9mm SMG and a laser pistol, I could deal with all of the Brotherhood. But when I tried that, I got 2 shot by pretty much every Gauss rifle, so it was not possible. There is not a chance in hell I was ever going to get through here without actual armor, and considering I don't have actual armor for this run, I just had to blow up the bunker. After that, it was time for me to just do some last-minute little prep work. I needed to grab some extra items, get some extra stuff done, make sure I was stocked up on stim packs, and this will be important later. Boy, oh boy, am I glad I stocked up on stim packs. I went to the Eldorado substation, got the little module installed, went back to Yes Man, and it was time for the second battle of River Dam. This pretty much was going like it normally was. I just stopped at the beginning to kill the cons, and then just decided to not deal with anything else and run my way through the area. Obviously, I wasn't, confident in my abilities to deal with the Centurions, because if I couldn't deal with the Brotherhood, there was not a chance in hell I was dealing with them. So the NCR heavy troopers actually caused me issues for once. I went through more stim packs than I care to admit here and nearly died to them 3 or 4 times. I wandered my way through the rest of the bunker so that I could go blow it up, which was, fun. We forgot to go to the fort and upgrade the Securitrons again, which I do pretty much every time I play with Yes Man. I don't know why, I just slip my mind because they don't give me a quest marker for it and I forget. Going to the Legates camp, I was not confident whatsoever. Everything here was taking so many shots to die, and because they have such good armor, the 9mm SMG is just not viable here. Even with the ammo that I had some of the good ammo for it that gives like armor penetration, but it wasn't great. So I think I only had like 150 rounds for it. I took pretty much every good chem in my inventory and then used some of those rounds to try to deal with the Legate, and an entire mag was doing like 50 damage to his health. I spent 45 minutes to an hour just in the Legates camp, running around in circles, taking pot shots at people, and then 30 minutes into it, it crashed. So I had to do it all over again, except luckily I quick saved right as it crashed. I'm pretty sure the quick save caused it to crash because my New Vegas has been doing that lately. That did not save me, however, a few minutes later when I died. So after that, I just kind of played like a bitch and ran around in circles more and more and more, because for some reason there was like 70 Legion troops in here and I was just getting cyberbullied the entire time. I ran around in here for an hour. I came in with like 80 stim packs, and when I was done, I think I left with 20. I burned through 60 stim packs in this place. I burned through like all of my 9mm ammo. I used all my special ammo. I used the majority of my regular ammo. I think I was down to like 20 or something by the time I was done. Well, maybe not that low. I honestly don't remember. It's been so long since I've done this recording. I recorded this like a month ago, and then I've just had so many issues lately that I haven't been able to upload this video. But we're finishing it. Here I am. Eventually running around in circles and being a little rat worked out because I managed to kill basically everybody. Died a couple more times and got really sad because I had to do a lot of the work all over again because I kept forgetting to quick save. But I only almost went entirely insane during this. I have never had a more stressful or difficult encounter in this camp. Eventually, I killed everyone. General Oliver arrived, which for some reason the Securitrons just let me kill him, and I beat Fallout New Vegas as Doc Mitchell. This run was way more difficult than I was expecting. I died more times doing stupid shit in this run than I have on any other run. I had less issues on a run where I only had 1 health. This run was just hell. I don't know why it was so bad. I don't know if the 9mm SMG is just terrible. Like, I don't know why I had so many issues with this run. But regardless, I did have a good time with it. And I am sorry for this video being a little late, but I hope you guys enjoy. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and, supporting the channel and everything. If you have any suggestions, please leave them down in the comments below. I appreciate each and every one of you for giving me things that make me want to die when I'm doing these runs. And as always, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.